Hello, and thanks for joining us for our wrap-up of 2021, and what a year it's been. As 2020 drew to a conclusion, we all hoped that better times lay ahead. Miraculously, and against all the odds, the 70s US rock band Kiss managed to pull off an extravagant concert at the Dubai Atlantis on New Year's Eve. The small audience in the grounds of the resort masked the huge worldwide audience that was paying to watch the stream concert live. When applied to AV, the term hybrid has of course been in existence for years, but perhaps this pay-per-view event has demonstrated that the audience no longer needs to be confined to the venue. Although challenges continued throughout the year for live events, venues and production companies, a valiant fight back was made, allowing concerts and events to be staged once more, and as we'd anticipated, the appetite was most definitely there for going out despite COVID checks.
The initial surge in training and education quickly waned, but equally the growing trend for hybrids showed no sign of diminishing in 2021. Leading manufacturers continued to invest R&D into immersive technology. Extended reality has taken us all to a new stage for whom some developers such as Disguise have come of age and are charting new waters, having brought out Mapping Matter and Previs while simultaneously extending their APAC network bases in Korea and Japan. Similarly, the hybrid model looks set to leave a lasting impact on the education sector, with many schools and colleges fully embracing distance learning. AV, like in so many other sectors, makes this transition possible. Last year, we highlighted this as a trend that could potentially have been a temporary fad. In hindsight, hybrid is definitely here to stay. The 2020 Olympic Games finally went ahead in Tokyo in late July, but without a live audience. Having streamed their virtual games for many years, esports was ahead of the curve. Perhaps the Olympic broadcasters such as NBC drew ideas and inspirations from their techniques.
From a trade show viewpoint, the NAMM show sensibly decided to cancel its January iteration. And having rescheduled for June, ISE stubbornly dug its heels in. Although high COVID cases ensured that the Spanish border remained closed, the organisers decided to proceed with scaled-down shows in Barcelona and London, to which a few of us attended. While it was great to see a few familiar faces, you have to wonder whether it was the right call by the organisers. Barring the Chinese shows such as BIRTV, GET and ProLight and Sound Guangzhou, very few trade exhibitions were able to put on physical events, and the virtual format was rolled out again, but seems to be becoming increasingly less engaging. However, by virtue of its timing and UK location, Plaza turned out to be an unexpected success, and again we were able to attend and catch up with a number of industry stalwarts. The dates for CABSAT and GITEX in Dubai were also fortunate to fall during a period of resumed international travel. Somewhat of a fleeting moment from the middle of the year onwards, and like Plaza, the passion to return to in-person interactions was on show for all to see. Infocom remained convinced of its credibility and staged a relatively low turnout event in Orlando. Right now though, next year's calendar resembles 2021, with shows pushed back to what is perceived as better times in the calendar. As we speak, however, there are rumbles regarding ISE's February outing in Barcelona. It really is anyone's guess.
Streaming tech, USB mics, conferencing, MI and recording interfaces remained as popular in 2021 as they had the previous year. Despite fatigue from those spending extended spells within Zooms and Teams rooms, video conferencing doesn't appear to be going away anytime soon. Technological developments and collaborative alliances have also accelerated. In late 2020, Shaw acquired STEM Audio to expand its conferencing solutions around an even bigger table. And then this year, Vibe extended its ecosystems by embracing control systems developer Neat to their catalogue of DSP and speaker solutions. There are admittedly many less acquisitions in 2021 than we had predicted, the takeaway being that despite a challenging business climate, very few have vanished into obscurity. Product, or rather software, developments remain largely in the digital domain. The marketing buzzwords repeatedly crop up: ease of use, future-proof, flexible, scalable solutions, shaped by the way we need to engage with tech in the modern world. As a result, interfaces have come of age, as did fully comprehensive apps. Just as some digital console manufacturers are following their pre-pandemic R&D roadmaps, some bold loudspeaker manufacturers have also bypassed the current fashion code. A few opted to launch stadium speakers, whilst others rolled out their large concert sound systems. For their versatility and use in immersive setups, small coaxials still remain in vogue. Away from audio, serious advances in micro-LED technology have begun to make their impact on the large-scale display sector, and this is most definitely set to continue to disrupt the current market.
Having expanded their team with talent in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crash, LUCKHURST has once again invested in a similar pattern of recruitment, in addition to establishing new bases in Dubai and Singapore. Likewise, QSC has also set up a Dubai HQ and added to their payroll with experienced talent across the regions. While some manufacturers built up their teams, others used the time wisely to further develop their networks. Analog Way's Guy D'Souza announced new dealers and distributors across APAC, while Earthworks fill in the gaps in Singapore, South Korea and Thailand.
It's a relief to end the year not having to discuss which companies decided to cease trading following 2 years of the C word. Having adjusted to lower volumes and changing buying patterns, manufacturers started to feel the clamps applied to global supply chains following a fire that raged through Japanese semiconductors firm Renesas back in March. A domino effect started as the shortage of microprocessors was followed by shipping delays and of course the inevitable rise in raw materials and commodities from everything including iron ore and birch plywood. As normality returns, some are speculating that we could be in for a reversal of this trend next year, an overabundance of stock that orders are unable to keep up with.
So at the end of 2021, it unfortunately feels a bit like we're back where we started 12 months ago. A number of challenges remain ahead. Where will it end? A personal highlight for us here at Blank Canvas came during the summer, when restrictions in the UK had lowered to the point that several British manufacturers were able to welcome us to their premises to wax lyrical about their current state of affairs in our On the Road video series. And with the general economic outlook signalling high inflation, high labour costs and increased volatility, one thing is for sure: we're not going back to pre-pandemic times. We rounded out last year's video by making some bold predictions for 2021. We're not going to make the same mistake again this time. So thanks for watching, and here's to a much improved 2022, a Merry Christmas, and see you next year.